Hi, this is Zhang, and today I'm gonna present my capstone project, Midterm Progress. My project is called a leaf, which is a VR installation, and mm, this is inspired by the Argentine writer Borges' work, and it explores the concepts of simulation and infinity from the perspective of the writer. And since the main theme of the text is to showing that there is a kind of object, a leaf, that enables the individuals to see everything from every perspective in the universe at the same time, I think it's quite relevant to our discussion topics about metaverse simulation and infinity from the digital medium. So in my VR reconstruction, I try to explore such possibilities and try to represent such organic messiness. Boas is famous for his writings with themes of time, infinity, mirror, labyrinth. Based on that, I built 8 scenes that correlate with these topics. Since these concepts are quite intricate, I prefer to design the scenes that embody my subjective perception. And by using the user journey map and the approach of imagery, I try to focus on my own understanding of the topics and the concepts from the text. The first thing happens in the basement, because in the novel, a leaf appears in the basement that have shimmering lights, which enable users to approach all the time and space in the universe at the same time. Then my design would be let users touch the leaf and be transformed to other scenes. Then users enter the scenes of the other one, which is called Go. Because Borges has talked in his work that he thinks the traditional Chinese chess Go has such a charm to represent the concept of simulation and infinity because it has multiple and different ways to have other possibilities. And in this sense, I'll try to start from this point and design a kind of little game that the users can sit on this game patch, and when they move the chess on the little game patch, the larger chess will be moved as follows, which shows kind of duplicate concepts and kind of relates this to the themes of time. And this is my trial in the interaction design. As you can see, there's code and it is developed in Unity. And for the third scene, I try to focus on the art concept of one-to-one ratio. Because Bo himself has talked about kind of concepts that showing the depth of one-to-one and the concept of simulation. Like when the map, for example, the map of Shanghai really becomes the map of Shanghai. I mean, when they are within the same size, then is Shanghai the map really the real Shanghai, or is it still the map? And this is kind of concept also discussed by other artists. For example, Suzanne, she has used her performance project to discuss some such relationship between art and reality to show that is there any real boundary exists between the art and the real world. And the fourth theme goes back to my discussion about infinity and time, that I try to scale up these dices and these objects and try to put that in a desert-like environment following the text. And there is also other kind of objects such as hippo, William the hippo, which is kind of signal objects that relate to the theme of infinity and those ancient Egyptian myths. Because the author also talks a lot about his emotions towards certain people, for example, when women. So I will try to also integrate certain human emotions in the scene. For example, in this scene, I try to put a large heart in the scene and try to make it kind of signal to showing the circulation between love and death. And I try to also add a audio visualizer in the scene so that the heart it can beat with the heartbeat sound. Continuing on that scene which explores the human emotion. In this scene, I wanna really dig deeper into how the author depicts the women in the text and how can I visualize that. So integrate my objective of like surreal aesthetics. I just put this large human head in the scene and try to lead the users to approach this large object. And by the way, I want to talk about like in this scene, I try to follow the level design um, of the triangle rule from Zelda because like I mean Zelda they utilize a lot about how to attract users' attention while hidden certain objects to increase the game experience in the scene, and I follow that logic to really like lead the users one by one, and hopefully they can be interested in exploring more about the scenes. This is also something that I would like to work on in my development later because I know like it's really needs some efforts to lead the users and let them interested in exploring the next scenes. And the seventh one is labyrinth because Borges has discussed a lot about parallel universe also in his work. And for example, the Garden of Both Paths, he has like studied a lot about, explain a lot about like what kind of space would it be when it comes to like multiple space, parallel like situation. And so that's for my project. I try to design the scenes in that protagonist room, and when the players they approach the death, maybe they can do some time travel and go into other scenes by touching the magic labyrinth on the death. And the final one, because I want to make kind of flow design in the whole experience. So the final one would be submersion, which would be actually a flashback of different memories and different themes, objects previously. And the users, they will go through a tunnel, which enables them to interact with various kind of objects. And it would be a kind of climax of my scene. Also, I want to talk about that I have like get some inspirations from these like VR projects that take inspiration from those literature and novels. For example, this one from Kafka, and also by Professor Robert Young from NYU Game Center. He also utilized all his work, the Garden of Both Paths, to discuss topics about LGBT groups and those issues existing among them. So I think because like different people have different perceptions and understanding of the same literature, then it will be a great chance for me to really put my own subjective perception into that instead of like really create a really duplicate or precise depiction of what the author wants to say. Yeah, also I try to do some technological implementation, and here's my tutor log while receiving really valuable user tests. And here's my development timeline, which will like be adjusted based on the development progress. And I use Trello for project management and learning those thing optimization approaches. Yeah, and soft models several of the key objects in the scene. And yeah, this is basically my project, and thank you.